Hello everybody, Max Cavalera.
Hey, Igor Cavalera.
We are Cavalera
Conspiracy.
You're watching The Age of Metal. Stay mental.
Hey everyone, this is Miguel with DH Metal and I'm here with the Cavalera brothers, Igor and Max. Well, this tour closed up today. It's been one of the longest run of Cavalera Conspiracy in the United States. As a recap of this tour, how is the tour in full force, for Cavalera Conspiracy?
It was a great tour, man.
I think it was the best tour we ever done in the US. That's by far. It's like not only our show, like we're really happy with it, but the lineup on it. It was like something that me and Max we start like giving names and ideas, and eventually they put together with us, and I think it's really special because it's like very diverse from Lottie Kong bringing the new to COC, which is like a band that me and Max grew up listening to it, to Death Angel, like Bay Area thrash, like part of history of metal, and then we come at the end. So I'm really, really proud of this whole tour. It's like we built some really good friendships also.
Yeah. The singer Death Angel came to me yesterday. Said this is the best tour they ever done. His favorite tour was this one, and that's cool, man. Coming from
someone that toured with everyone, man.
Yeah. Somebody that done like 1,000 tours. Pick this one to be his favorite, and it's cool because it's not forced. It's natural. It's a natural bond that you get with the other musicians, which is, we're on this together, and we're all professional, and we know how to avoid drama and avoid crap on tour, and have fun, man, and the only thing that I complained was too fast. It's already finished, and it seems like it started yesterday.
Yeah, it's funny that Max saying that because it's been like one of the longest tours we've done in America, and feels like a week. It's crazy, you know what I mean? Like,
it went really fast.
Yeah, like as far as like the shows and the like everything around the tour, it felt really fast, and I think that usually happens when you're enjoying yourself. Otherwise, it takes forever, and you start like, oh my god, I want to go home, and I haven't heard this the whole tour. I never heard one complaint of people like, oh, geez, and that. So I'm really happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pandemonium came out last November, and how has it been received by the people, by the fans, and you guys feel that you get new fans with the new album? How the old fans have felt about it?
I think everybody really loved it, man, because it's heavier and more aggressive, more brutal. Every time you do that, most people like it, and it was. I think it was important to make a different record from the first two, because the first two were quite similar. Even though I love Inflicted and Blunt Force Trauma, I think to survive, a band to survive, you have to reinvent yourself all the time. We've been doing it for 30 years now, and it's a lot of reinvention. And it's hard, but you find ways, and one of the ideas was for Pandemonium. We tapped in a little bit in the grindcore area and drank from the Kool-Aid of the grindcore influence, and created this record that I really think is really great, and we're just kind of like, it's interesting about this tour that we're not one of those bands that go out with the new album and play a lot of new stuff. We don't do that, which is cool. You know, we play a little bit from Pandemonium mixed with the old stuff, so it fits really good on a set. You know, but it's not like sometimes you go see a band and like the first 10 songs they play is all new songs, and you're like, oh man, you know,
Yeah, and
when are they gonna play the old stuff? You know.
yeah, and also sometimes like the album is still kind of fresh, so you don't give a chance for people to really get familiar with the song. So
Yeah.
so I think it's cool to have a combination of old and new. This way, people will get more. If you play, especially if you play them back to back with all old stuff, then you feel more comfortable about watching the whole show as an entire thing rather than okay, this is no, this is new. It becomes one thing at the end, and I really think that's important. You know.
And we still can explore a lot of
Yeah.
Pandemonium. You know, there's a lot of stuff we didn't play. I Barbarian and you know, Apex Predator. You know, there's great songs that we haven't even played yet. You know, we just did it in the studio, so it's cool to save that even for later because
Yeah.
we're gonna tour more. So it's kind of fun to spread out like that, and that way you can really enjoy the record. You know, and make sure the record has a longer span of
Longer cycle. Right?
cycle and you know, you get the chance to really explore the record the right way. You know, but so far it's been, I think, really good. You know, it was really fun making the record because it was really underground. You know, we did everything ourselves and made the record very dirty, very you know, on purpose. You know, so it was really cool to do that.
Well, definitely looking forward to hear that tonight and enjoy how brutal that record is live.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you will be playing several Brazilian days within 10 days.
Yeah.
Some sort of like begins on. How excited are you guys to go back to Brazil and play all these new Cavalera Conspiracy songs, but also in a personal level, what do you do when you get to Brazil as no as an in tour, but as something that you always do? Kind of like you go to certain place, you meet family. Do you have some traditional stuff that you do when you guys go back home?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I try to do is see my mom. She's back in Brazil, so I try to visit her. And but like you said, you know, for us to be doing another one on Brazil, we did one before the album came out, and it's just show how special Brazil is for us. You know, they have full support of Cavalera. You know, otherwise we wouldn't be doing 2 tours back to back. And people really want to see us, and we're going to a lot of cool places that we haven't been before. Not only in Brazil, but in Central and South America. So I'm really happy with that. But as a Brazilian, the first thing I try to do, besides family, it's eat a coxinha or go to a churrascaria, which is the typical Brazilian meat place.
Yeah.
Because food is something that I'm a food fanatic, and being on tour, I miss Brazilian food a lot. So that's one of the things I try. I don't know.
Oh, I'm out there, man. Yeah, Guaraná too. Try to get some Guaraná and hopefully feijoada, you know. Yeah, so we hopefully we can do some of that together. Go to a steak place together. That's always fun.
Now, one thing that is interesting about you two, you guys have, you know, the project together, Cavalera Conspiracy, but you all have two different projects individually.
He has more.
Yeah.
He's more than me, man.
But the question is, how do you get the creative juices going? What is your routine at the time to create music, your creative routine day?
I think it's quite different from me and Igor, and we have different styles, you know. I'm more of a, you know, I write all the time, and I got all these projects like Soulfly, Killer BQ, and Cavalera, and Igor's got Mix Hell, which is completely different, you know, and I really like that, the fact that he does something totally different from the norm. I dig that. I think that's awesome. And yeah, so it's cool, but we know how to also prioritize the Cavalera time. You know,
Yeah.
it's always there, and
Yeah.
it's very special.
But I think for any musician, it's so healthy to have more than one project. Otherwise, you try to put everything into one thing, and sometimes it's good to kind of like save certain things for and focus differently. Like when I go do Mixel, I have certain focus that I know I'm like thinking already. Like, wow, when I do Cavalera, I'm gonna try this. So even when you're working in a project, your conscious is going like in different places.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very healthy for any musicians to do and also work with different people. That's really important, you know, like we're such lucky to work with a variety of musicians during the years, you know,
Yeah.
like from Greg Puciato to, you know, he worked with me and Max actually with Mixel and with Max Indifferent, from Soulfly to Killer Be Killed. So people like that, it's for me, it's very inspiring, you know, to get a chance to do stuff together, you know.
One thing that always caught my attention is your advocacy for new bands. I can notice in your nails shirt that you always kind of like listen and discover bands. How do you go into that? How do you discover bands? Do you use like the streaming services, or you just
Yeah, sometimes there, but sometimes also my son Igor. He's really into the scene, and he goes to Baltimore and discover all the bands. Man, he comes back and tells me, you know, you gotta check out Cloud Rats. You know, you gotta check out Full. He's the one that told me about Full of Hell. You know, and I saw these kids and they blew me away. It was like this, like Discharge. You know, making what Discharge was doing 30 years ago. They're doing that now. It's incredible, man. You know, so it's really cool. You know, and also Spotify. You know, I have to say that you know that helps.
Yeah, it's a good tool because you know when me and Max would grow up, when someone talked to you about a band, a friend or someone said, "Yeah, you need to check out this band." Sometimes it took ages for you to finally find a record or someone give you a tape. Nowadays, if someone tell me like, "Check out this song," I write down on my phone, and then when I have a chance, I go either Spotify, and then I can get like an instant taste of what it is. And if I become a fan, then I go to the show or buy the record. And so I think it's important too if you used, you know, like that, you know.
talking about a little bit of your traditional input and your legacy as from the past. When you guys go to Brazil, you guys get kind of like the same thing, discover new bands that were influenced by Sepultura or Soulfly or Cavalera Conspiracy?
Well, we try to have them play the show. Like Tast is doing some shows with us.
Okay.
It's a really
Questions.
cool grindcore band. And, yeah, you know, Igor's got a lot of friends from a lot of bands there.
Question was more like a old school, like hardcore. But Brazil, it's always like always produced good music. I think also there are like always been good bands in different styles. So when I go back to Brazil, I get a chance to see more, you know, of that.
Now, Max, it was announced yesterday that you're going to be touring in September with Soulfly and also coming up a new album called Archangel. What is the idea, or what can you give us about Archangel?
It's another Soulfly record, man. It's a 10-1. I don't change much, you know. It's just continuation, and I'm happy with that. I think the record is a little bit more exciting than the last one, Savages. It's a bit more inspired. Zion's playing better, it's really cool, like, because he learned a lot from Igor, man. You know, it's just
He doesn't need, man. I don't need to tell him anything. He's a natural. That's all I say, and that's how I was. So that's even better because I don't need to.
But he loves his uncle, and you know, watches videos of him and he studies, you know, and I even told Zion like he should definitely pursue and try to even like learn even some jazz a little bit, some lessons, because I think he can become a really good. He's a real young kid, you know, only 21, but he's got a lot of potential, and he really shined on the new Soulfly record. The producer was very happy with him, Matt Hyde, the guy that did the record, and so it's you know, it's I think it's gonna be a really cool record, and then you know, hopefully there is a tour booked for October already, and then after that I don't know I would like to do more stuff with Cavalera next year. Hopefully, talk to Igor about maybe an EP. Even there's a chance of us doing an EP before doing a full length, another record. We might do that, and just keep it busy, and it's good, man. It's for me, I don't like to stay home much, I get bored and I start getting in trouble. That's not good.
Yeah. Now, closing up, and a question that I don't know how this question may be taken. A year ago, the game of Brazil versus Germany. How do you guys live that?
I think Max had it tough than me.
Okay.
I went to a friend of mine, which is Brazilian. I was in Europe at the time, but I went to his house to watch the game. So it was just me and him suffering. And Max, I think, had a tougher time watching that terrible game.
Yeah, I went with two German bus drivers, which is like,
Okay.
they're nice guys, but
Yeah.
they're German, and they had the German T-shirts on, and after 20 minutes, they were not even commemorating anymore. They were just like,
Oh man,
"This is bad.
Yeah.
We feel bad for you, man." It was, it was kind of a crazy day. I had a show in England, and I got really mad, man. After the game, I want to burn my shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, but it wouldn't burn. That's weird, right?
Well, after five stars, it will never burn.
Yeah, man. I
This
think
is
that's
just a mistake,
maybe it was give me a sign that it won't burn. Give them another chance. Russia is coming.
Russia's coming.
This is the revenge. And if I was the Brazilian coach, I would make them watch that game every game before they play Russia in the Russia World Cup. Watch that as a reminder of never ever let that happen again.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure. Definitely looking forward for tonight. And well, good luck with Brazil. And definitely looking forward for the new album.
Thank you, man.
For the new Archangel album, and definitely for tonight, of course.
Thank you. Yeah.
Such an obnoxious,
Arrogant, right?
obnoxious pig.